guys, so today I thought I would do a hair video because I don't do a ton of these, and I've said before, because I'm not as dexterous on myself as I can be on other people, but I thought it'd be fun to do a 7 days of hair video or look. So I'm going to show you guys 7 different hairstyles you can do during the week, whether you have a bit more time or you're late. I hope you guys enjoy. If you recreate any of these or take inspiration from them, definitely hit me up on my social media, which is always linked down below. I would love to see your take on these. There's some updos, downdos, and everything in between. So a couple things that you're going to need is I have my pick, I have my brush. You could use a teasing comb for one of these looks. I'm not going to tease my hair in it, but that's something you need. Of course, some lovely bobby pins and some clear baby hair elastics along with some big bad boys. And let's get started. Okay, so for this first look, it's dead easy because your hair is down and all you're doing is braiding those bangs out of your face. Because for me, with my long hair, probably the most irritating thing and one thing that prevents me from keeping my hair down is when hair gets in my face. It just bothers me. So I'm gonna do a deep side part. Just brush that out. And you can do this a couple of ways. I'm gonna choose just to take most of my bangs. So I'm just going to get my finger, run it down to make a nice part above my ear. And as you can see, I have a little bit of extra long hair, so I'm just going to shake that out. Try and pull out the smaller pieces and smooth it out. And it's okay if you get some of the smaller pieces with the rest of your hair. And I'm just going to pull it all to one side so it doesn't get caught up. Now, you can do so many things with your bangs, but I'm just going to scoop up a piece of hair and I'm going to just do a braid. So, for me it's going to be a Dutch braid because I find that easier for myself to braid on my own hair. But I can't Dutch braid on other people, which is funny. I can French braid on them and Dutch braid on myself. So my trick for braiding my bangs is once I cross over twice, pull the hair out of the way, use your thumb, section off another piece, and then what I do is I separate it in half, add it to the extra outside strands, and continue my braid. And now, when you get to the end of the braid, what you can do is you can either braid it all the way to the end of the hair and take a bobby pin and pin it back here, or you can stop once you finish collecting hair from it and just use a small clear elastic, and then you can kind of have it just near your ear, and then you can have the ends of the hair kind of blend in with the rest. So I'll show you both. So that's all the hair in the braid. So you can stop here, put an elastic in and have this flow down, or you can continue braiding it. And what I suggest you do is while you're braiding it, sorry, I got hair in my face, is to pull backwards so that when you go to use your bobby pin to set it in place, it doesn't give you a kind of wonky, not lying flat and cooperative type thing. Gonna pop in a couple of bobby pins, one going up, one going down, just to help keep that secure. And then you can just flatten out the ends of it. And there you go. The easiest way for me to keep my hair down is to get these bad boys out of my face. And then if you'd like, you can fluff it up and pull it apart, but I quite like it the way that it is. For the next look, I'm just gonna brush my bangs out again. I'm going to be doing a French rope braid with a bit of a cheat to it. And I'm keeping my deep part. I'm gonna get all of my hair to the back and feet for a French braid, rope braid. What I'm gonna actually do is twist this hair into my scalp, so going into the direction of the rest of my hair. And then once I get to the side, I'm gonna do a rope braid. So I'm literally just picking up and twisting. And I'm just going to continue doing that all the way around. So I'm literally just grabbing little tiny sections and twisting it over and twisting it over until I get over here. And I'm going to do a couple more twists just to make sure that the hair is all secured to this side, like so. So you can see it's twisted nicely. Trying to make sure it's as flat as possible because nobody likes a lumpy braid. Now, once I get to this side, I'm going to section my hair into two and try to use the bulk of that braid and the hair that you moved over to use one of your pieces. And then, as you guys know, rope braids are dead easy, but you want to make sure that this time you make sure all of your hair twists in the same direction. So if you have bangs like me, it might look a little wonky at first. We can flatten that out. So you gotta twist both of these one way and then cross them in the opposite way. You can use a small clear one and just secure the ends. Is your wraparound rope braid. This next look is inspired by Kim Kardashian, and it's kind of her signature ponytail. So I'm just getting a little bit of a part. Just try and make it as straight as possible. If you want to use a rat tail comb, that's fine. You literally need an inch or two. And all you're gonna do is pull your hair back and try to make it as tight to your head as possible. Now this is the look that if you have a teasing comb and want to tease your hair, you would tease the crown to give it a bit more volume while everything else is slicked back. So I'm just going to scoop that back. And this is gonna be a low ponytail. Now what I'm gonna do, instead of teasing, is just kind of push my hand against the hair on my crown just to pull it up a little bit so it's not quite as tight to my head as everything else. So, just want to wrap it up. And that's look number 3 done. So these next 2 looks are variations of buns. Now the first one, I'm going to do slightly higher, but you can kind of do it as a mid to high bun. It's going to separate from my ears in an upward angle versus trying to go straight back. Smaller section of hair for my upper half. And I'm literally just going to make a small messy bun. So there we go. Now this part is what makes it more than just a bun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate, make a nice halfway mark for my hair, separate the pieces. And then you're going to grab them, smooth them out, and wrap them around the bun. Depending on what your bun looks like after mangling it, you might want to get a few more bobby pins and just kind of place them where you think you might need them. Now this next look is a low bun with braided edges. So again, I'm going to take a little bit, make a little bit of a part. Again, about an inch or so. Try to make it as neat as possible. I'm going to try and circle my crown and connect my fingers at the back of my head and separate it from all that hair. So it'll look something like this. So this hair is what's going to form our low bun, and the rest of the hair we left out, so our bangs and underlayer, are going to be our braids. So I'm just going to wrap it up a bit to the top of my hair, continue that center part just to separate my hair into the 2 sides. So I'm going to start my twists by taking a bit of the front section, crossing it into 2, and for me, I'm obviously going to pull away from my face. So I'm going to just do 1, 2, and on my second one, drop that piece, pick up the next section of hair, twist again, drop that piece, pick up the next bit, and I'm just going to keep doing that. And then when you get to the end, I'm going to continue to twist this, but now that I'm off of the rest of my hair, I need to do a rope braid. So now that those are done, you can see they're puckering a little bit just at the nape of my neck, but that's okay because when we put them around the bun, we'll twist them again to give them a bit more shape and to make them lie flat. So I'm going to let this hair down and kind of finger comb it a little bit, making sure you don't tug on any of the sections with the rope braids. Want it, I'm happy with it about there. And again, I'm going to do my messy bun. So once you have your bun, I'm going to take this braid first And I'm just going to grab the end of the elastic. You can see I still have some tail to the braid. And I'm going to twist it again. And that's what I'm going to use to wrap around the braid. And then you can just use the tail to clip it back. And there you go. And then to utilize these twists still, if you take your hair down, brush it back a bit, you can twist them again and just use them as a ponytail. And then to secure this, which is super easy and much easier in my opinion than bobby pins, is taking a small clear hair elastic and pinning or tying together those two loose ends. So put your ponytail down. Can't even see it. So that's a really easy way just to utilize the same idea in keeping your hair down. You can also flip it to the side and you still don't see the ponytail. For the final look, I'm going to do a bit of a take on cornrows. So I've just separated my hair into a side part. What I did is I went back several inches and then I took my finger from the end of that part down behind my ear. So I'm just going to clip that. So my hair is all pulled back and I'm just going to part it in half. And try to make them as equal as possible. So to cheat cornrows, the first thing you're going to do is just pretend you're going to start off with a French braid. So you're going to just take the first section of hair, separate it into 3, and this way your braid will look like it's starting at your hairline versus starting farther back with a regular 3-strand braid. Get your 3 strands in your hand. Again, I'm doing a Dutch braid, so just do a couple loops, couple twists, and then if you'd like, you can do just one more. Don't need to be a very thick piece. Separate it into 2, add it to the outer strands, and then pick up the rest of your hair. Remember, pulling it backwards so it doesn't bubble and get all wonky. You're going to create your 3 strands and connect it to each of the strands in the 3 strands that you took for your French braid. And then just making sure that you're keeping it lined up, because your cornrow doesn't want to go on an angle. You want to try and keep it as parallel to your part as possible. And you're just going to braid back. And for this, you can do the headband cornrows, which means you're going to stop when you get to the edge of your part and the piece of hair that we sectioned off, and you can just put your hair elastic there. Or you can just braid all the way to the end and let it hang down with your hair being down. Okay, so I've just stopped there. I'm just going to flick this to the other side, and I'm going to release the hair I have for the lower section of my hair. Now for this one, we're going to do an actual cornrow, which, in case you guys didn't know, is a Dutch braid. Take your first section, and you're going to section it into 3. Now if you're doing narrower sections, take a little bit from the very front and then a section beneath it and split that into 2 and braid that way. But because I have such a wide space, I'm going to separate it into 3 automatically. So again, I'm just going to do a couple of loops first, just so I can get a grip on my hair. And again, just going to take a little section each time, separate it into 2, and add it to your outside strands. And remember to try and get your fingers as close to your skull as possible when you're adding the hair and when you're going into your next crossover, so that you can keep it really tight, because it's really easy to get too slack, and then when you're finished braiding you realize that you have gaps. I'm just going to release the other braid and the rest of my hair. And of course, if you need to or want to, you can just connect these and pin them back. So I hope you guys enjoyed those looks, and if all else fails, you can just do this. Chop it all off. Yes! Ah! It's gone. So short. This is still medium length for some people, but for me it's not. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I wanted to make sure I filmed it before I got my hair chopped off, and I had about 10 minutes to spare before my appointment. So hopefully I can do something with this and share with all my shorter haired girls some looks. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya!